the way the federal government does procurement and does IT is just generally not very efficient. So what we probably needed to do on the front end was to blow up how we procure for IT, especially on a system this complicated.
You think? The president admitting the obvious, that the government isn't really that good at complicated, IT issues, like one to get a health care law up and running. Former Hewlett Packard CEO Carly Fiorina is not arguing with the president on that count. What she's arguing is what's happened since. Good to see you again, Carly. How are you feeling, first off?
I feel great. I'm almost 5 years out as a cancer survivor, so that's a magic mark.
You're amazing, and I think your attitude helped. All right, so enough with the kind words. Now to the not-so-kind rollout of this health care law. And I'm wondering, Carly, it's one thing for the president to acknowledge after the fact that the government's not good at this, but it does beg the proverbial question, why was it responsible for rolling out this?
Well, look, there are many things that are so disturbing about what President Obama has said over the last couple days. At his press conference last week on Thursday, he said he was just now discovering that buying health insurance is complex. Yes, it sounds like he's just discovered that the government isn't very good at IT procurement. However, remember also that President Obama, with great fanfare when he was elected, created the first ever position of CIO. We're going to do all these things to make IT more efficient. Guess what? It didn't work. This is an example of an executive who is completely out of control. He didn't know the website wasn't working. He didn't know about the IRS. He didn't know about the Justice Department. He didn't know about Benghazi. He didn't know about Angela Merkel's telephone. He doesn't know about anything. But we have created a disaster here with this regulation.
All right. When you talk about, leaders of all types who just claim ignorance, that to me is not any more reassuring than someone who knew and was culpable. Because actually, I worry more if you're ignorant of spying on another foreign leader. If you're that implies obviously a sort of a shadow government running around doing nefarious things. And if you're ignorant about the details of what was your pet signature project, and for which you should get kudos for getting through, whether you agree or disagree, and you just drop the ball on it, that it tells me more about your hands-off style than anything else.
You're absolutely right. Look, I think one of the reasons that President Obama's approval ratings are now sinking rapidly is because people are beginning to figure out that it's all words. It's just words. This is not a competent executive. This is not a person who understands how to govern. This is a person who says what he needs to say at the time he needs to say it. If you like your insurance plan, you can keep it. Period. That's what he thought he had to say at the time. It just so happens not to be true.
Do Republicans risk, Carly, too advantageous on this and aggressively championing this to see the president kick him when he's down, assuming that this will last a long time? You and I can remember polls that go up and down, and it was only a few weeks ago Republicans were the skunks at the picnic for the whole shutdown thing. So this might change, but it might not, but it might change. But what do Republicans have to do? You're very big on being proactive, and your technology days, it was always about being proactive and not getting lost in the stuff that doesn't matter. This stuff, I suspect, doesn't matter unless Republicans offer something, right?
You're absolutely right. And I've been very public in saying for some time that I think Republicans have made a huge mistake by not offering a proactive solution. What was going on before Obamacare was unacceptable. It wasn't helpful to too many Americans. The goal must be to provide access to quality, affordable health care for everyone. And the Republicans must put forward a plan that I believe adheres to a couple basic principles. Let's have real competition across state boundaries. The insurance industry is a regulated oligopoly today, and it doesn't serve everyone well. Let's have real competition for drugs. Let's make sure that patients and their doctors make the decisions, not government. There are a couple.
So you would scratch this, right? You would rip this thing up, Carl, and start anew, because the cynical sentiment on that is then this attempt to insure the uninsured and help those who can't be helped, this will go, and Republicans will never, ever follow up on a replacement.
Well, I think, first of all, that Republicans need to do what they can right now to try and fix terrible inequities. So I support the Upton bill that passed the House, which is to try and fix something that had gone awry, to allow people to try and keep the plans that they liked. On the other hand, I think Republicans have not had as much sway in the debate over health care because they didn't put forward a clear, proactive solution, because what was going on before wouldn't work. But the reason that this will fail, Obamacare will fail, not because of the website, but because it's too complicated. You know, the legislation itself is longer than a Harry Potter novel, and it is accompanied by 11,000 pages of regulations that modify, codify, amend that Harry Potter novel. That cannot possibly work. Republicans now need to step up and say, we'll try and fix what we can fix, but in the meantime, we are going to offer a solution so that actually Americans can have access to quality, affordable health care.
Real quickly, Carly, we now know from polls just today that if the election were held today, Mitt Romney would win. I'm wondering, too, in your senatorial battle in California, knowing what Californians now know, and better than 1 million of them lost their health care, do you think I'd be talking to a senator right now?
Well, who knows? You know, you can't go back in time, but it is true that in elections, timing is everything. And I think what people are finding out more and more is that, first, the federal government is not competent at everything. They are competent at some things, but running a health care system is not one of them. Yeah. And that calls into question a lot of liberal government programs and solutions. And the second thing they're learning is words are cheap. What matters is reality and actions and results.
Well put. Carly, continued good health. Always good having you.
Thank you. Great to be with you, Neil.
Carly Fiorina.